News time is 8 minutes after 8 o'clock here on this Monday morning. Top of the morning from the newsroom of Regional Radio and DeWittDailyNews.com. I'm Seth Lawrence with this expanded local newscast streaming to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin insurance agent in Clinton. Halloween is from 5 to 8 p.m. in Clinton, and Chief Ben Lowers is offering up his annual reminders about a busy time in our community. Chief Lowers reminds to visit only houses with lights on during the trick-or-treating hours. Chief Lowers encourages motorists in the busy parts of Clinton and your community to slow down and be mindful of the busy night of pedestrian traffic that comes with Halloween.
October 31st, Halloween, 5 to 8 p.m. in the city of Clinton is our trick-or-treating. Always ask people to be safe there. We can go into that as far as your costume safety, your trick-or-treating safety. Obviously, children under the age of 12, always accompanied by an adult. Never trick-or-treat alone. Go in groups with a trusted adult and stay in known neighborhoods. Carry a flashlight, not only for you to be able to see, but also for people to be able to see you. I highly recommend the glow sticks or the glow necklaces, the glow bracelets. Again, that's for the importance of others being able to see you as well. Only go to the homes with the lights on. Don't run or walk between homes, and try to walk on a sidewalk, cross at corners, and be aware of the increased traffic. We will have a presence, especially on the southwestern side of town, where we seem to have a tremendous amount of trick-or-treat traffic. That traffic generally is moving very, very slow, but it's dark, and especially if we would encounter any type of rain, mist, any kind of a weather like that, that will hinder drivers' ability to see. We just ask that the motoring traffic be very slow and cognizant of the trick-or-treaters, but also the trick-or-treaters being in a defensive standpoint of crossing at the corners, walking, not running between homes. I know it's an exciting time for our little gremlins, but that's where our part comes in as the trusted, responsible adult to make sure that we can do so safely.
Trick-or-treating hours in Central Illinois include 5 to 8 p.m. in Argenta, 5 to 7 p.m. in Bemint, 5 to 8 p.m. in Bloomington, 5 to 7 p.m. in Cerro Gordo, 5 to 8 p.m. in DeLand and Lincoln, 6 to 8 p.m. in Mahomet, 5 to 8 p.m. in Mansfield, Maroa, Monticello, Mount Pulaski, Mount Zion, and Oriana. Healthy financial statements have Clinton Schools in a position to look at its facilities and find areas to improve. For the better part of the second half of the calendar year, the district has been doing just that, and Superintendent Kurt Nettle says the facilities plan will end up being about a 3 to 5 year roadmap.
Yeah, so I've been thinking about it for a few years, but, obviously we've had a lot of other things happening. So now I think is the good time that we're in a good financial situation with the district. We also have opportunities for other funding sources probably too to help us put together. I'm not sure if you want to call it a 3 to 5 year plan, probably more like a 5-year plan to do improvements to the facilities that we currently have, and maybe to do some new things if possible. So putting a plan together, the building committee has worked with myself and Mr. Goebel to put the ideas down on paper and organize those. We're going to prioritize them, what we absolutely need to get going on and what we want to do and we think we can afford to do. And then there's the pie in the sky things that maybe can be done someday. We'll just have to probably get the community involved in those.
While sports complexes have received a lot of attention in this discussion the last few months, Nettles points out there are many improvements within the school walls that will receive attention and could be addressed soon.
We think improving or revamping the science labs and maybe the high school for sure, maybe the junior high, I don't know exactly, but our family and consumer science lab in the high school, that's home ec for those of you that don't know what family and consumer science is. That hasn't been touched. Those things haven't been touched forever. So we want to do things like that. A lot of people look at the football complex with the track and the field and the bleachers and all of that. We have to do something about our bleachers at some point. And I've always said, if we're going to touch anything there, you need to just go ahead and do what you want to do. I think, what we would really like to do is flip the thing and put home on the other side, better bleachers that insurance companies, everybody like to see, a bigger press box, a nicer thing, a concession stand, better restrooms, putting the visitors on the other side so they have to stare into the sun. Sorry to everybody from other places. Turfing the field is definitely a possibility when you do that. But probably the bigger thing to me personally than turfing the field is making that track 8 lanes instead of 6. Now, we did resurface that a couple of years ago and needed to do that. So that, I think, is one of those things that everybody would love to see, or a lot of people would like to see. And I think that's a pretty good probability that we'll do something with that.
Nettles indicates they have given a green light to the same architects that helped build CES to come up with drawings and renderings of a list of ideas recently presented to the Clinton Board of Education. As hunters get out this fall for the annual deer hunting season, the University of Illinois Extension is hoping they'll consider participating in their deer donation program. Caitlin Mellendorf is a nutrition educator with Extension and explains the deer donation program helps them provide meat to food pantries with an educational component about preparing venison.
Yeah, so this is a culmination of a couple of years of work now. So now that we have officially started hunting season October 1, now we're almost to November, we are open to our Illinois Deer Donation Program, meaning that any hunter that would like to donate is welcome to. And so the donation goes to, you go hunting, just like you normally would, and then you would bring your deer to one of our partnering processors to be processed. That meat will be ground in 1 pound and 2 pound packages, and then those will go to area food pantries in the 12 county pilot area that we're working in. And then that meat will be able to feed families. We are gonna, as Extension, we're gonna come and do what we do best, which is nutrition education. So we have staff that are gonna go in and talk about how do you store this venison when you get home? What are some recipes you can do with it? Food safety things, because of course I talk about that a lot.
According to Mellendorf, the pantries are primarily located in South Central Illinois. She's excited because they just received their first deer of the season.
And it's going to serve across 12 counties. So I've got my list ready. Clay, Coles, Cumberland, DeWitt, Douglas, Effingham, Fayette, Jasper, Macon, Moultrie, Piatt, and Shelby. And so this is where all of the pantries will be partnering with us. That does not mean you have to be a hunter from living in those counties. You can hunt from anywhere. Even if you're out of state and you want to come hunt in Illinois, you just need to bring it to one of the 5 partnering processors that we have. We're super excited. We just got our first deer donated earlier this week. And we're so excited. So that got donated to our partner processor in Mattoon. And
Mellendorf calls the process a full circle program. If you are not a hunter but would like to participate, they are always taking donations to help pay for the processors and their time. You can contribute by visiting the Illinois Deer Donation Facebook page or visiting go.illinois.edu/deer donation. The Illinois State Fire Marshal's Office is offering some Halloween safety tips. For starters, do not use candles in your carved pumpkins. Opt for a flashlight or glow stick instead, says Fire Marshal spokesperson J.C. Foltz.
And I don't know if you've seen any jack-o'-lanterns that have glow sticks in them. They look even spookier. And if you do run into a jack-o'-lantern out trick-or-treating, teach your kids to stay away from them if they have a candle lit inside of them. Be sure kids know how to stop, drop, and roll if their clothes catch on fire.
Foltz says parents should make sure kids wearing Halloween masks can see through the eye holes and give them a flashlight or glow stick to carry.
And as we start to bring in some of those dried flowers, corn stalks, crepe paper, those can catch fire easily. So keep those plenty distant away from open flames or heating sources such as light bulbs and heaters. Make sure those kiddos have a flashlight or glow sticks as part of their costume. And make sure your smoke alarms are working.
The National Fire Protection Association says the decorations were the first things to ignite in approximately 800 home fires reported each year. The morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent.